Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Well, it's been said before that what you think becomes your reality. And many have practiced this and have gotten things that they want or feel they deserve in life. I'm talking about manifesting. It seems kind of crazy. I've practiced it. I've tried it. I'm working on it. And I'm curious how she feels about this. She is an executive and life coach with Essential Blessings, and she's back with us. I manifested her. She just appeared. Shay Johnson is with us. How you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. Steve, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. This whole manifestation thing, it's it's not as easy as it sounds. Let's just say that. You can't just think something and it just appears out of nowhere. Like rubbing the lamp and the genie makes it, genie comes out and just grants you your wish. There's a whole process involved. But when it's done right on the small scale or the big scale, it works. I've seen it. I've experienced it. I've heard it from other people. You manifesting, what has happened for you? What have you heard from others?
Well, manifesting is such a powerful tool that a lot of us don't realize that we have. Our brains and our thoughts are so powerful. But until you know, dive deep into those scopes, you won't really understand. But the power of the mind is such an excellent source that we all have, and once we are able to attain the meditation practices and the breathing practices, then we're able to visualize what it is that we really want. And that's where the manifesting comes in. So with me, I have manifested certain things after meditating and breathing and journaling and actually visualizing exactly what I want. Um, I manifested talking on a podcast show.
Hmm.
Certain things that you want in life, you do have to, you know, go about having goals to get there. However, visualizing, being able to see where you want to be, um, really helps to manifest what you want. So once you grasp your inner self, your inner peace, and a lot of times this comes from having gratitude. Once you wake up and you're grateful for the breath that you breathe, practicing those mindful breaths, journaling out what it is that you want, whether it's that day, whether it's in a year,
Hmm.
just setting your goals and visualizing that. I've had, I've experienced it in that manner, and I've had others tell me that that's how it's happened. But you must believe and visualize it and speak it into fruition.
As if
So
it's real. You have to
yes,
believe, like truly, and not just think it. You have to feel it. I tested with things like parking spaces, and I'm going to say that 85% of the time when I manifest a parking space in a crowded area, it's there. And I did it 4 days ago, and I was heading to a very busy area. Um, there's not a lot of spaces. You don't get a space there. And as I'm driving, at about a 50-minute drive, I'm manifesting there is going to be a space there for me. Somebody else needs it more than me. Let them have it. But it's going to be there. It's going to be the perfect space. It will be waiting there for me. I know it. I believe it's going to be there. I arrive. I go around. It was in front of a hotel. I go around and I don't see a space. And I stop for a moment. I'm thinking about what to do. And the valet guy is like, "Hey, I'm over here." And I'm like, "No, wait a minute. $49 to park, by the way." So I went with my gut and it just said, I'm going to go around again. So it's a one-way street. So I went up, yeah, maybe a block and then came back around, come back around again. I'm in the same spot in front of the hotel. There's the valet guy. He's like, I'm here now. And I'm like, just a moment. And I turn my head and there's somebody kissing somebody goodbye. He gets in the vehicle and I wait. I don't want to be too pushy. I get out. I walk up, bang on the window. Excuse me. Are you leaving? Are you pulling out? He goes, yes, I am. I mean, thank you very much. I get back in my car. It was the best space in the entire area, better than the valet parking, because then you have to go into a garage and blah, 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 blah. Now I can just carry my stuff out. And that was, I've manifested parking spaces before quite often. That was the best one. And I'm firmly believing that it's because I thought it and it became the reality. So that's just, a small test of how this works. Now take it to bigger levels, the house you want, the car you want. I've heard this happen from people that told somebody wanted a Tesla. She didn't have the money. She manifested it. 5 months, she got the car, the high-end Tesla, by the way, and paid cash for it, manifested it, and it's real. So, like,
Yeah.
why
And
wouldn't you?
there's manifesting the negativity too. So you have to be mindful of your
Mhm.
thoughts when they're negative. So try not to think negative about anything. Like
Yeah.
stop yourself. And manifestation can happen from just the smallest things to the biggest thing. I have did a lot of a few vision boards, and it's really awesome to go back to your vision board and see the things that have come to
Mm.
you by you just putting that down, that that's what you want. So I've seen eh, tons of things come into fruition on my vision boards. So I continue to make them so that I can always have something to look forward to. So manifestation can come through your mind, um, writing it down, putting it on a vision board, whether it's a piece of, uh, 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 I'm sorry, paper out of a picture out of a magazine. You take that picture, cut it out, and put it on your vision board. You know that's your vision board and that's what you want. You can put that on there, and because that's in your mind, your subconscious knows that that's what you want. You will subconsciously make moves in your life to get those things. So that's just one way. There's so many different ways to manifest things, but thinking about what you want, writing it down, journalizing it, visualizing it, and making vision boards. Those are just some
Mm.
of the things that you can do.
Yeah.
But stay away from negativity when you're trying to manifest.
You know,
Keep it
thank you for
positive.
bringing that up because we forget. And it's my understanding that if there's just a shadow of doubt whether it's going to work, it's not going to work. And even coming from a place of lack, let's say you want that car. You have to think it, dream it as if you're sitting in it. You're smelling the leather. You're driving down the road. The wind is going through your hair. You hear the music on. Just that feeling, a happy feeling you get in this new car, and you manifest it. And then you wait a little while, whatever a little while is. And then you say, when is it going to show up? When is that car get? You just derailed it. You just came from a place of negativity and lack because, I need a car. When's it going to show up? Well, no, it's not going to show up. You can't do that. Right.
Sometimes things just show up that you manifest um, by way of someone else. Just so, like for instance, I put a Yorkie on my vision board a few years ago, and at this job I was working, there was a sign on my lunch break that said Yorkies for sale. So when I called the lady, she says, they were going for a quite an expensive price, but I've had 10 of them and I'm down to the two. and I've got to get rid of them. They're getting attached, and so I'm just going to let them go at a very low price. So to me, that was a manifestation because I had that Yorkie on the vision board, and it just came to me in that kind of way at a very, Yorkies are expensive,
Hmm.
but and there's tons of, if I'm out of town right now, but if I was at home, I would just show you my boards and just pick out the things that have happened, and it's just like that. So for those that are new to manifesting, try the vision board. Just try
Hmm.
that part because that's fun and it's easy, and all you're doing is putting on the board the things that you want, and then to go deeper into it, smell the leather, make a video, um,
Hmm.
smelling leather and saying the things that you already have that you want. I mean, that you want that you don't have, and just practice with it, and but just keep the negativity at bay. You
You
don't
know,
negativity.
it's horrible. It's like a disease. I'm glad you mentioned vision board, and I've yet to do that. And I don't know why I haven't done it. It's just, I guess, time, no excuse. But for anybody that isn't really sure how to do that, what's your suggestion for the vision board?
Well, there's so many different ways to do it. I've done it by myself, where I've just like grabbed magazines in the house, and this is when I'm really wanting some motivation. Um, Once you've done something for yourself, a vision board is for yourself. You'll get the motivation to do other things. You could do it that way, or you can have a few friends over. I've done it where it's a pajama party, and we all just come in our pajamas so that it's no pressure, and you uh, have some boards or tell them to bring a board and whatever magazines they have, put everything in the middle of the table, scissors, glue, and
Hmm.
just positive affirmations, pictures, because a lot of times vision boards don't just have, a picture of a car or a picture of a dog. They have affirmations on there. Those are affirmations that you should carry with you each day. So when you see it, it reminds you to stay on point with that affirmation or whatever it is about yourself. It should always be something positive, something uplifting, something you want, but you don't have to do it with a lot of people, and you could do it alone, you could do it with your family. I've done it with my family, just the kids and I, just, and it doesn't have to make sense to anyone else but you. You can do it alone. It could be on your phone, where you just they have these gold vision board apps where you can just put the collage together, and then that make it your screensaver on your phone, your wall, and then you're always seeing it every time you grab your phone. Um, those are the ways that I have done it. And of course, it could get bigger. It could even be prayer affirmations. It doesn't always have to be just visual things. It could be, because sometimes when you pray and then you have it there to go back to, then you're able to see how that prayer works for you. And then
Hmm.
you develop a testimony through that. But so I've done it in settings where it's, many people, and it's inspiring that way because you look at someone else's board and you're like, that's a good idea. And so you start looking for your own thing. Sometimes it takes someone else to bring about your ideas. Because sometimes they're just not there for us.
Hmm.
Sometimes we need someone to pull our ambition out. So that's why it helps to have vision board parties or get togethers. Or sometimes it's just best to do it on your own. You'll feel good about yourself.
You know what somebody mentioned, and this might even make it easier. Canva. which is the graphics program, was a totally free. If you Google Canva and Vision Board, they have templates that come up. And I haven't done it yet. I've looked at it, but I haven't done it yet. Steve, why are you waiting? I don't know. Just do it. Um, but I know, but you can drag pictures in there. So again, it's the car. What color? I want a red car. Drag a picture of the red vehicle in there. I want 2024. I deserve it. Drag that in there. All that kind of stuff. So it might make it easier than having to cut out things, and you can do it on your phone.
Yeah, I
You know,
think the cutout things, that's when you're just really trying to spend time. So I've done both where I've been by myself and just cut out and pasted. I've done it where I've ordered just a bunch of affirmations and positive words, and I've just glued them. That's therapeutic for me. I like to color and paint. It helps me think and rationalize thoughts that are like spiraling through my mind. So cutting and gluing, just the fact that you're placing it there and it stays, and then once you get it all together, you're able to look at it. It gives you a sense of accomplishment, and and if that's therapeutic for you, it's a sense of peace. So
mm,
I suggest even starting with something small. You know, if you just don't want a big giant board hanging around, you start with a piece of paper or do it on your phone. That way you're able to um, structure it around and change it and, maneuver it all you want. You could use 8 pictures in a collage. Just some positive things to get you going. But it's always just good. Just do it. Just do a small one, even if it's just words, positive affirmations, not physical, things. Or it can just be physical things. But just try it and see how you feel after that, and then just watch how things start to change and
mm,
gravitate to you that happen to be on your
mm.
board.
In order to bring these things to you or just attract this, you also have to come from a place of, in my understanding, just being positive, just positivity. We're all negative things are going to pop up. You can't run from it. You're going to have a situation, but to recover and then turn it into a positive, I understand will help the things that you want to manifest in your life take place. And then also the gratitude. We talked about that before, but coming from a place of, I appreciate this. I appreciate everything in my life. I hear that you do that, the universe rewards you in some way by giving you more.
Right. Being grateful brings such being grateful brings the positivity to you because you're recognizing um what it the simple things. And it doesn't have to be simple, but being grateful for simple things certainly helps the bigger things come to where you're able to be more grateful.
Yeah.
So if you're being grateful, are you being negative? How could you be? No, because you're thinking about the grateful things. Um, and, sometimes you can be grateful for something negative that has happened because you are able to see the positivity behind it. So that's why it's really good to keep your positivity on point. Even when something bad, you've got to look beyond it and see the positive for it because it, I notice how negative beings, what's going on in their life versus a positive being. Now,
Mm,
if you have let's see, what's an example? Okay, this is a good example. Uh, I have a best friend that back in the day, and we've been best friends since 13 or 14 years old. And she used to keep a pretty negative attitude. And one day she she was working at a, a jail, and she ran into someone that we know and who was actually in, locked up in jail. So when she seen her, she smiled so hard at my best friend to tell her how happy she was. I mean, not tell her how happy she was, but to see her, she was happy to see her, and was just like, "How are you?" and just had these real good spirits. And my friend told me, she said that she had to check herself at that point because here she was with the job, everything she wanted, and she had this negative attitude. And here
Mhm.
was this person locked behind bars. Once she got out, she didn't have a car, she didn't have a place to go, but she was able to smile and just be happy for seeing a person that she knew. So that was like a learning experience for both of us to just think about how, you can't take for granted the little things. Like, and for her to be able to be happy in a place just because she's seeing someone that she knows, it just really helps you to, humble yourself
Mm.
and, be grateful for the things that you have, because there are people that don't have what you have, but they feel great inside. So staying positive and, just being grateful for the tender mercies that we have around us will help, put things in perspective of the things you want and of the
Mm.
things you want to manifest, so that keep that positive energy, because you do need that if you're trying to manifest those things.
Yeah.
And you can manifest anything. It can be from relationships to dinner that you want, to having the energy you want, to physical things. So just remember in your manifestation that you need to be centered in your positivity within.
Yeah. And you bring up a point that I believe many of us forget. We look at others that have this and we don't have that, and they have this and we don't have that. We all have the same thing. And that's the power of choice to be positive. And also, we can have peace. Peace is free. And if you don't have
Right.
peace, you don't know it until you know it. And I used to go to church when I was younger, and they would say, "Peace be with you, peace be with you." I didn't know what that meant. Yeah, peace, whatever. Until I realized I don't have any peace in my life. What the heck is going on? And then I found it, and I was like, "Oh, that's what that is." Thank you for talking about manifesting today.
No
This it,
problem.
it's a process, but it
It
works.
is.
But it works. And why wouldn't you? If you don't believe it, then start with the little things. And by the way, I do know it works. Not for the parking spaces. I would tell myself certain things in a relationship back in the day. My position in the relationship, who I thought I was. It wasn't that it was true. I would just think it. This is what I am. This is what I how I fit in here. It became true. So I believe I reverse engineered it through manifesting it. And what are we talking about here? What you think becomes the reality. Uh, Shay, how does somebody connect with you? If they want to find you, how do they do that?
You can look on the website of www.myessentialblessings.com. My social media handles are Shay Madison Johnson and Shay Marie EHE, standing for Entrepreneurial Household Executive. And connect with me, and let's go on this journey of essential blessings. When you come to my handles, you won't see essential blessings yet, because I want to launch it all at once with my book, which is coming. So don't think that that's not me when you come there. Don't see that.
Even having I just thought of something through you, having a manifestation friend or buddy or coach to walk you through it to keep you on track. Um, I think it would be a great idea. That's kind of what we're talking about here. Uh,
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. One final question before we do anything. Where's the swing? Usually you're live from the swing.
I'm out of town right now. I'm in
Ah,
my hometown, Colorado. So we'll have that next week.
gotcha. All good. I was just curious. That's all. Thank you. Have a great trip and enjoy, and we'll talk soon. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. We're coming right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.